Hi, Stickasaurus here, and today we're going to work on Soldier Black. I think this helmet might be a little small compared to my other Soldier helmets. It certainly is. Can't get the scaling right on the Soldier ones. I don't know, they're either too big or they're really tall. I think this is the helmets in general, especially the Gold Ranger. He's going to be something interesting. He's got a huge bucket. But I'm going to finish this one. If I think it's too small, I'll probably reprint it a little bigger, maybe sell this one. This one fits my head. It just looks a little off, but it's printed really nice. I think this was a Nellie's cosplay off of Etsy. I don't think he sells on there anymore, but I think it printed pretty nice. But we're going to do hit it with some 60, some 110, put some epoxy sculpt on the overhangs. Actually, this chin and some of this over here are a little rough. And then we'll prime. But first, let's get sanded. Soldier Black all sanded. Tried to take these points down. They were stabbing me in the leg when I was working on it, but yeah, like I said, this one might be too small. I don't know. This might be going to someone's home one of these days, but we'll see. Okay, and here I'm using a two-part epoxy putty called Epoxy Sculpt. A lot of people use it for custom action figures, but I find it works really well here. You could use Bondo if you wanted, or spot putty, or I've seen people use wood filler. But all you do is mix the two parts together until they're an even color. And then you put it on your model here. And then I like to use water to smooth it out like it's clay. And it really makes it less you gotta sand down later. Gets rid of some of the air pockets that you'll see if you use Bondo or such. But yeah, this stuff works really well. You can get it for like $20 on Amazon. I suggest taking a look into it. And here I'm just using some 60 grit, then 120 to smooth down that epoxy putty I just put on after it dried. It takes at least 4 hours. And now we're going to use some filler primer here. Put a light coat on this rough sand here. Don't worry, we're going to sand again and add another coat. So I like to make sure I let this dry at least 24 hours. I'm sure if it's warmer, you could probably get away with doing it sooner. But if you don't, it just gums up your sandpaper. And a day usually seems to be good enough for me. And next, I'm just taking 220 and sanding down this first layer of primer, getting it smooth. And you'll really start to see all your hard work starting to pay off here. After we finish that, we're going to hit it with another coat of filler primer. I usually go pretty thick with this because we're going to wet sand it after. And now this is my favorite part, the wet sanding. I really like just getting in there and starting to feel how smooth you can make it. I usually use, I think, 500 grit. Just starting off, that's usually about as far as you really need to go. I mean, after you gloss coat it, some people will sand the gloss with 1200 grit, but I have yet to try that, but maybe one day. And here, just putting the first layer of gloss black on it. You don't have to use gloss. Flat back will be fine. You're going to put a gloss coat on it, and it takes a while to dry, the gloss does. And after that, mask it off, and here's a light coat of silver. I do 2 coats of the silver. It seems to stick better on top of the gloss black. I don't sand before, just paint on top, or else I've had issues with peeling. So here, I'm just showing you some spots that the black didn't cover, and a little bit of the silver, I think. What I'm gonna do is take some black acrylic and just go over these areas. I mean, it's gonna look like stick out like a sore thumb before we put the gloss coat on, but after you do that, you won't even notice. Then after I get that on, I'm going to hand paint the eyes yellow. It's gonna take a couple coats for sure, but if you let it dry in between, it's not that bad. You could certainly mask this off and spray paint it, that's up to you. It's just a weird little area to mask and then try to paint, so I decided to hand paint it. And that's perfectly fine, whatever you choose to do. I'm just using an acrylic paint marker here to fill in some of the gaps I can't get in with a brush cleanly. And then finally start spraying some gloss coat on it. I usually do about 3 to 4 coats, about 5 minutes a piece. Make sure you take your time or else you're gonna get runs. Don't go too heavy on some of the acrylic at first, because that will run if it's not quite dry enough. I actually did end up having some run issues with the silver on this, but I fixed them up later. Okay, so here is your Soldier Black, top coated, cleared, whatever you want to call it. It's time to put the visor in and the magnets, the elastic. I had a little trouble with him. Some of the silver ran on him. I just got a little hasty, I think. But you can't see now. I just covered it up with acrylic and hit it with another coat of clear, but it should be okay. Like I said, when I started this, I think this helmet's a little too small, but at least compared to my other soldiers, it might be perfect for somebody. I'll probably still keep it till I get around printing a new one. The only one I have left to do then is green. And I guess gold. I have a file for gold, but it really doesn't fit on my print bed, so I gotta cut it up, and that's always a hassle, but we'll get there. This model's a little different, and you'll see as you get some, but it has the indentations to put the visor parts in on a recess here. Usually they don't have that. I usually put them in from the back, but since we have this, we're gonna try to trace these. You only gotta do one side, if you do it right. Trace these and put in some visor material. I have some scraps left over from other helmets that hopefully once I get a template, I should be able to get these to fit in here. Yeah, so we should be good. So I'm gonna start working on this, get the visor done, and then we'll move on to the internals. All right, that's the visor in. Not the best. Got some gaps here and there. I just put a little black paint in there. Some of my acrylic marker. Just fill that in, you won't even notice. But got that in. Could be better. Some files come with visor parts you can print out, and then it's easier to make a template from them. Or if you want to get crazy, you could vacuum form them. That's entirely up to you. That's probably my summer project, I would hope. But this will look fine. I mean, I know you can see the glue and stuff there, but once you get the back on it, you won't be able to. Next, I'm gonna put the magnets in and the elastic, since I have the hot glue out already, and this bad boy should be done. I accidentally didn't record me putting the magnets in, but if you check out my Samurai Red helmet, you can see how I did that. All right, that is for Soldier Black done. I think it turned out pretty nice. Visor could use a little bit more work. There's a little gap down here that kind of bothers me. Like I said, I'm probably gonna fill it in with black paint, but I don't know. It's bugging me just looking at it, but couldn't really do much more once you get it painted and glued in. If you take the glue off, it's probably gonna mess up the paint. So I'll think about that. A little black acrylic probably won't harm anything, but that's always an idea. I have to get some gloss. I don't have gloss. I always flat. I don't think flat would look good, but I wasn't originally gonna even finish this helmet. I thought it was too small compared to my other soldier helmets. Here's blue for comparison. Again, a lot of that has to do with me. I like them a little bigger. These soldier ones are weird. I don't know how to size these right. I sold somebody a smaller version of this exact same helmet, and it fit his head well, and he likes it, and he did a good job finishing it. He sent me pictures of it. So again, it's all preference. Some of them end up looking like a bobblehead, sometimes you don't. I don't know what the actual sizes are. I've never seen a screen used helmet in person, so, and they're all very different, all kind of different sizes and shapes, as you can imagine, but this turned out pretty nice. I'm happy with it. I don't know if I'll print a bigger one or not. I think it'll look fine on the shelf with the other ones, as far as I'm concerned. Weird helmet. I never realized all these spikes back here were all black and everything. Again, I haven't watched Red Soldier yet. I've seen a couple episodes, but this will be what, Dino Fury? Yes, this will be Dino Fury. So this will be the new season of Power Rangers starting this year. So I'll be seeing these a lot, I guess. I have green half done about now, and then I just need to do gold, and I'll have the whole set for these. But if you guys have any questions on how to finish these, or any suggestions on what I should do, or if you have any suggestions on how I should make next, I could gladly do that, of course. I'm also willing to help anyone who has any questions, so you can hit me up at Instagram at Stickasaurus, or you can comment on this video, and I'll try to get back to you. Life's a little hectic right now, but I'll try my best. But I hope you enjoyed watching me make this, and thanks for watching.